Hello everyone, this is Group 6 and today we will be presenting our application to all of you. So this is our application, the Novel Hub. It is your ultimate platform for discovering and enjoying web novels like never before.
Hello
So
everyone,
as you can
this is my part of the demonstration. My part includes the login and sign up process of the user. First, as you can see that some pages are available without logging in. Others require a registered user to post comments or like the novels. Now let's see the login process. If the user wants to read any novel, they need to log in first. So we have multiple options for logging in or even sign up. First, let's try signing in with Google. We need to allow the cookies for it. As you can see here, I have received a form in which I can sign in using my ID. As you can see, the sign up process is complete and I have been logged in. I can even check my profile page. See, here is the profile page and my name. And I am not an author right now, so I have the option to apply for authorship also. Now let's log out and log in with another ID. We have a temporary ID made. As you can see, when I log in with the ID, I can see that in the profile page, this user is actually an author. And the author has posted 3 novels. After I have logged in, I can do multiple things like I can see my posted novels, I can like other novels, or I can upload a novel, or I can even post something on the forum page. As you can see here, other authors have posted their stuff. Another method to log in or sign up is using the inbuilt form that we have made. Here you can put your name, email and password and create a new email ID for this app. So let's try this also. Now let's sign up. As you can see that we have created the ID successfully. Now, as you can see that the mail that we have recently made, when we try logging in with this mail ID, we are able to log in with the page. And here is the profile page. This is the name that we made the ID right now. And this person is currently a user and has no posted novels post or haven't liked any novels. So this is about the front end of the login page. Now let's see something about the backend. Now let's see the authcontroller.js. First we import the JSON Web Token library to handle JSON Web Tokens and the user model to interact with the database. The secret key is retrieved from the environment variables to securely sign in. Sign up function. The sign up user function handles the user registration. It begins by extracting the name, email and password from the request body. If any of these fields are missing, it responds with a 400 bad request error. Next, it checks if the email already exists in the database using user.findOne. If a user with the same email is found, it returns a 400 status with the message saying the email is already registered. If the new email, if email is new, a new user object is created with the provided data. It also sets default values like the role as user and a placeholder user image URL. The new user is saved to the database using await new user.save function. To ensure security, the password is removed from the response object before sending it back. The client receives a 201 created status along with the user data. If an error occurs during this process, it's logged and a 500 internal server error is returned. Next, we have the login function. The login user function handles user authentication. It starts by extracting the email and password from the request body. Then it looks for the user in the database using user.findOne function. If the email is not found, it responds with a 400 status and a message stating the email doesn't exist. If the email is valid, it verifies the password using user.comparePassword. If the password doesn't match, it returns a 400 status with a message about incorrect password. Once email and password are validated, a JSON web token is created using the user's ID. The token is signed with the secret key and is set to expire in 1 day. The token is stored as a cookie in the client's browser with properties like HTTP only for security and max age of 1 day. Finally, if the function responds with 200 status, a success message, the token and the user's ID. If any error occurs, they are logged and a 500 internal server error is returned. Now let's see the logout function. The logout function logs the user out by clearing the token cookie. It sets the cookie's expiration date to 0, effectively deleting it. The response confirms the logout with a 200 status and a success message. At the end, all the three functions, sign up user, login user, and logout user, are exported so they can be used in other parts of the application. Now let's see the authentication.js file. This code provides middleware to authenticate and verify the validity of JSON Web Token. It ensures secure access to protected routes in the application by validating tokens passed in the request headers or cookies. As you can see, first we import the JSON Web Token library, which helps us work with JSON Web Tokens for signing, verifying, and decoding tokens. Then we load the secret key from the environment variables. This key is used to verify the tokens securely. Next, there's a function named verifyToken. This function acts as middleware to protect routes. It starts by trying to extract the token from authorization header of the incoming request. If the header exists and starts with bearer, it splits the header to retrieve just the token part. If no token is found in the header, it checks for a token in the cookies. If no token is available from either source, the function stops there and responds with 401 unauthorized status, letting the user know that access is denied because no token was provided. If a token is found, it's verified using the JWT verify function and the secret key. The function also checks if the token has expired by comparing its expiration time with the current time. If it's expired, the user gets another 401 unauthorized response with a message saying the token has been expired. If the token is valid, the function attaches the decoded user information from the token to the request user object, which can be used in the following steps of the request. After that, it calls next to allow the request to proceed to next middleware or route handler. Finally, if anything goes wrong during the verification process, like the token being invalid or tampered with, the function catches the error, logs it, and responds with a 401 unauthorized status, stating that the token is invalid. The middleware is exported at the end, making it reusable across different parts of the application to secure routes effectively. Next, we have the googleauth.js file. In this file, first we import necessary modules. The Google Auth library provides the OAuth2Client class to verify Google tokens. Axios is used for making HTTP requests to Google's API. JSON Web Token handles the token creation, and the user model interacts with the database. Let's see the Google Auth controller function. This function handles Google-based authentication. First is the extract token. It starts by extracting the token from the request body. If no token is provided, the function responds with 400 bad request status, indicating the absence of a token. Next, we verify and fetch Google user info. It uses the provided token to fetch user information from Google's API using Axios. From the response, it extracts details like email ID, Google ID, name, and picture. If email is not provided by Google, the function returns a 400 bad request response. Next, we check user in database. It checks if the user with the provided email ID already exists in the database. If the user exists, it updates their password with a combination of the Google ID and a secret key, sets their user image if a picture is available, and updates the name if provided. The user record is saved to the database. If the user doesn't exist, a new user is created with their name, email, a generated password, that is Google ID plus the secret key, a default role of user, and the Google profile picture. The new user records is saved to the database. Next, we generate JWT token. A JWT token is created with the user's ID, signed using the secret key, and set to expire in 1 day. This token is then stored in a secure HTTP only cookie. Then we prepare the user response. To ensure security, the password is removed from the user object before sending the response. Finally, the function responds with 200 OK status, including the token, user ID, and user details. Next, we handle errors from Google. If there is an error interacting with the Google's API, example invalid token or network issue, the error details are logged. A 401 unauthorized status is sent indicating that the Google token verification failed. Next, we catch all errors. For unexpected errors, detailed error information is provided in the development mode. In production, a more generic error message is sent to avoid exposing sensitive data. The Google Auth controller is exported at the end, making it available for use in other parts of the application. Next, we have Google signin.jsx. This file defines the Google sign-in component, which handles signing in users using Google OAuth. First, we import statements. React's use state and use contacts hooks manage component state and access global contacts respectively. The use Google login hook from React Auth Google facilitates Google login. Axios handles API request. Cookies manage client-side cookies, and Auth context provides authentication state. Assets like Google icon and utilities like use navigate from React router for navigation and toast for notification are also imported. Next, we have the setup and state. The auth context is accessible to invoke the update method, which updates the authentication state after logging in. Navigation is enabled with the use of useNavigate hook, and a local state variable is loading, tracks the loading status of the login operation. Next, we have Google login handling. So the handle Google login function is configured using use Google login. On a successful login, the Google OAuth token response.access token is sent to the backend using the axios.post request. If the backend responds with success, the token is stored in cookie with a 1-day expiration and appropriate security settings. The user's ID is also stored in a cookie. The update function refreshes the authentication state, and the user is navigated to the home route with a success toast notification. If login fails, an error toast is displayed to the failure message, either from the backend or a generic one. Errors during the API call are caught and logged, with appropriate error message displayed. The is loading state ensures users can't trigger multiple login attempts simultaneously. Next, we have the error handling for this. If there is an error during Google OAuth, for example some network issue or something, a toast notifies the user that the loading state resets. Next, we have the rendering of the component. The component renders a button styled for Google login. While loading, it displays signing in. Otherwise, it shows the Google icon and sign in with Google button. And at the end, it is exported. So next, we have the main.jsx. So this files set up the main entry point of the application, integrating with Google OAuth provider and authentication state. First, we have the import statements. Standard React imports like strict mode ensure that the app runs in stricter development environment. Create root initializes the React app. The main app component style and auth state for managing authentication context are imported. The Google OAuth provider enables Google OAuth functionality across the app. Next, we have Google Client ID. The client ID for Google OAuth is fetched from environment variables, ensuring sensitive credentials are not hard-coded. Next, we have application render. Inside strict mode, the application is wrapped with Google OAuth provider to enable Google OAuth and auth state to provide global authentication state. Finally, the app component serves as a root of the application. So that's all for the backend part, and I've already told you about the front end. So that's all for my part. Thank you.
Like never before. So as you can see, this is the front page or the home page of our application with a beautiful UI that we have designed. We have used Tailwind CSS and Framer Motion to design this beautiful UI. Now you can access this page whether you are logged in or not. If you are logged out, then you can only access a few other page, and most of the routes are blocked for you for security concerns. Now I have been logged in, as you can see in the profile. I have been logged in, so this is my name, the username. So these are the posts, novels and likes, which will be explained by my friends. Now let me go back to the home page. So since I'm logged in, I can access all the routes that are available. Now let me just show you how the novels are being fetched here. This is the trending novels section where all the trending novels can be seen. Now these novels are basically the novels that are being posted by the authors, and I'll also show you how the author is posting novels later. Now you can also search novels, which will be explained by my friend. Similarly, the forum, here you can see a preview of the forum, some of the trending posts in the forum. Now my friend will explain how the forum page is being built later on in the video. So let me come to the trending novel section again, and let me just click on one of the novels. So after I have clicked on this novel, I am taken to the novel's details page. Now in this page, you can see the novel's title, the author name, the description, and the novel's cover photo. Now this cover photo is being fetched using Cloudinary because the photo is uploaded on Cloudinary, and from the Cloudinary, the link has been set in the MongoDB database where we are fetching the link through the database, and after fetching the link, we are placing it here and we can see the image. Now you can like or dislike a novel as well. Now let me just toggle the like for this novel. Now as you can see, I have liked this novel. Now if I click on read now, you'll be shown something like there are no available chapters right now. Basically it shows all the available chapters. For this novel there are no available chapters right now. My friend will show you how you will be uploading chapters and how you will be able to see them as well. For now I'll just show you for a novel, let's say this novel, there are available chapters or not. Let me see. As you can see, there are available chapters and you can basically access these chapters, and my friend will explain them how later on the video. Now let me go back. After I have come back, let me go back once again to a novel where there are no chapters. So in this novel, now you can also see the community reviews. Here you can write in the reviews for the novel. So there are no reviews for the novel right now. So let me just add one. I like reading these kind of novels. So I found the description really cool, and I am waiting for the chapters. So I'm posting this review. As you can see, after I have posted this review, this review is also being shown here, and this review is also being added to the database. I'll explain you how it is done when I explain the backend. So let me just like this review. We can also toggle like the review as well. Now, after I click on the review, I'm taken to the dedicated reviews page. Now, in the reviews page, I can add also replies to the review. Let me add one. So, cool concept. Now, I'm adding this review. Again, I have added this reply to the review, so I can also toggle like or unlike this reply as well. Now let me go back once. So after I have come back, I can see that the review is still available and it is retained because I'm using the database. So let me go back and let me explain you the backend for this. So this is the backend controller for the novel. Basically all the functionalities of the novel are being done using this backend. So this is the get novel by ID function. This function basically what it does is it fetches the novels based on their unique ID from the Mongo database and show them or populates them in the front end. So when I click on the novel in the front end, as I've shown you before, it shows the novel and the details of the novel. It also shows the nested parts like reviews and the users, everything else as well. Now, get all novel. This is basically the function that is being used in the home page to retrieve the data of all the novels to show them to the user base. Now, another important function is the get novel by author. This is the function that is being used to fetch the novels by specific authors so that the author can open the novel analytics section that will be explained by my friend later on the video. And it is really helpful for the author to know what are the novels they have posted and to access their own novels so that they can add chapters to the novel. So this is really important function here. Another important function is the toggle novel like. This is basically the function that is allowing the users to like or unlike a novel, as I have shown you before in the video. So this is the function that is being used to fetch the reviews to the novels. The review ID is stored in the novel model, and when the novel ID is used to fetch the novels, the reviews are being populated over there as well. Now this is the add review function. With this function, we are basically adding the review to the Mongo database that I have shown you before, like the right first review that we have done in the previous novel. So this is the function that is being used to upload the review to the novel. Now let me explain the add reply review function as well. So the add reply to review function is basically doing something similar to what the review is doing to the novel. So we are basically replying to the review that are being uploaded by the users. We are storing the user ID to know who is the user who posted the review or the reply. Now again, the toggle review like and the toggle reply like, both these functions work similarly and they are used to like or unlike the replies and the reviews respectively. Now let me show you how in the front end the author is using the get novels by author ID to fetch the novels that he have posted. Now in this, when you are an author like I am right now, you can see the novels that you have posted. As my friend have already explained previously, you can apply to become an author, and after becoming an author, this tab will be accessible to you. So my friend will later explain in the video how the novel analytics page works and how will you be able to upload a chapter to a novel. For now, let me show you how you can upload novels themselves. So for uploading the novel, you will need to press this upload novel functionality. So this entire tab will only be accessible to you if you are an author. As I've previously said, you can easily apply to being an author. Now after you click on this upload novel function, you will be taken to this upload novel page. So in this, you can enter a novel's title, let's say Damn Reincarnation. I quite like reincarnation based novels, so this idea just came to me. Let's just give it a simple description. Let's say this is a novel about a reincarnated struggler's journey in a world 300 years later. Let me just add a cover photo for this novel as well. So I have added a cover photo for the novel as well. Now you can also upload a introduction video for your web novel. You can either paste a YouTube video link or you can upload your own video file from the file system of your computer. Now these videos or the cover photo are basically stored in Cloudinary. We have used Cloudinary to upload our images and store them as well as the videos. So basically Cloudinary makes it quite easier for us to save space as well as upload large quantities of images to make the application scalable, because we are using render for the backend and we don't want to add additional burden to the backend using Multer. So we have opted for Cloudinary. Now let me just upload this novel. After uploading the novel, you can see that the novel has appeared in your published novel section, because the get novel by author function is in the work in the backend and it is fetching the novel from the backend to here. Now let me go to the home page as well and see that the novel has been fetched in the front end. Now we can see that when I click on this novel, we can see the author, the title, the image that we have uploaded, and the description as well that we have given. We can see that all the functionalities are again in the work. So if we want to like or unlike the novel, we can do that as well. We can also write reviews as well. If I click on read now, we are taken to the chapters page, and right now there are no chapters because this is a new novel that I have posted right now. So let me just explain the backend for this as well. Now in the backend for uploading the novel, basically what we are doing is we are fetching the data from the front end form that the user has done, the title, the description, the author's ID, and the introduction video if it is available. We are basically storing these functions to the MongoDB database, and we are also using the Cloudinary configuration to directly configure the image and the video files if there are videos for video to the Cloudinary. For this, we are using the Cloudinary store functionality that is in the middleware. This is the Cloudinary storage functionality that we have implemented, and it is basically fetching the video data and it is storing it to the Cloudinary and providing it a public ID and a link. We can access the video, the images via the link that is being provided by Cloudinary, and we can perform actions on the data that is being stored in the Cloudinary, that is the images and the videos, using the public ID. Now after that, it is basically populating the MongoDB databases the author model as well, so that author has a connection with the novel, because the author has posted the novel and the novel model must have the author's ID in it. With that, it is setting up the database and setting up the data into the database, and which makes it easier for us to fetch the data later on if we because we are needed it, because the get novel function, the get novel by ID function, and all these functions uses this to fetch the novels. That finally, let me show you one of my favorite application of this website, the chatbot, the AI based chatbot that I have created. To create this chatbot, I have used Gemini 2.0 experimental and made a submodel out of it to cure it for this website only. So let me just ask some of the questions to the Gemini chatbot. Let's say browse novels. So this is the reply it is getting. Now, if I send this something totally out of context, like weather data, so let's see what it replies back. So it is replying that it is here to assist with our novel reading experience, and for other queries, you might want to use a specialized service. So this is the Gemini chatbot that we have created. Yes, there are some bugs because we couldn't train it in detail, but we have done a fairly good job to make it a fairly good experience for users that come to see the website. Now for the backend of this, let me just go to the Gemini chatbot. Now, as you can see, this is the system instruction, the context that I have provided for the Gemini chatbot to operate. Now, I'm invoking the generative AI model of Gemini and using the Gemini API key. You can get the API key from aistudio.google.com as well. It is completely free for you to use. Now, we are configuring how the output shall be made. This is the configuration for that. This is the chat session. Basically, the data, the previous chats are being shown. Now, this is initializing the chat model with a question. Now, finally, this is the chat response. Basically, the backend API call for this. Now, when we are calling the function, what it does is it calls the chat application and sends the data to the chat. And with that, the chat produces a response and sends back to the front end. So that's pretty much it from my side. Now my other teammates will go on to explain the other functionalities of this web application.
Hello everyone, I am Akshay. So I am the member of project Novel Hub, and in this project I had implemented functionalities which include post model, the like function, and the search function. Now let's see the working of each of these models and how they are working too. Also, here we can see that at the top of this website there is a forum button. Now if we click on this button, we can see that there are two pre-built posts which we had uploaded. Also, on these posts, users can like and comment. Now first of all, here we can see that if we tap on this inbox, the user can share their thoughts with the community. Then we can see that we can create a new post here, in which first of all we had to put post title, then we had to post content of the post, and lastly we had to upload any image here. So now let's enter post title. So suppose I had entered anything. Now let me enter the post content. Okay, so now finally let's upload any image. Now let's upload it. Here we can see that our post is successfully created. Also, we can like and comment on this post. Now let's see that how this thing is working in both backend and frontend. Now, firstly, in the backend, in controllers, this is postcontroller.js, in which all the code is there. So firstly, if we talk about this function add post, Then it is an asynchronous function which have request and response parameters, and this function is used to create a new post for a logged in user. Its functionality include presence of title content, an image file which is required to make a post. Also, it ensures that if the user exists in the database. Also, it creates a new post document with the given data including the image and user's ID. Next, it also links created post to the user profile by adding the ID to the post array of the user model. And lastly, it returns the created post with populated user information. Now next, this is getAllPost function, and it is used to retrieve all the posts from the database. Its main functionality is to fetch all the documents, sorting them in the descending order with the time they had been created. As here, I had used this created at, and it populates the user field. And it will not include the password because it is a sensitive data, and then it returns the list of posts. Next, this add comment to this post is used to add the comment on the post which I had showed you in the front end. As here, we can see that if I click on this comment icon, then we can see that there is no command present at this moment. Now, let's add a new comment here. Now, as we can see that this comment is successfully posted and is appearing on our front end. And also talking about this like functionality, if we tap on this like button, then we can see that the like count is increased. And also if I again tap on this like button, then this count will be decreased as here we had unliked this post. So this is how like unlike feature works. Now let's see that how it is working in the code. As here in the code we can see that this add comment to post add a new comment to specific post, and its functionality is used to validate the presence of content, and it ensures if it exists as of both user and the post. Also, it adds the comment to the comment array of the post model including the user ID and saves the updated post and populate the user detail in the comments field. Lastly, it returns the updated post with all the comments. Now next, this is post by ID method which is used to retrieve specific post by its ID. It specially works in the backend and fetches the post document by its ID. Now if the post is found, then it will return the post, otherwise it will throw an error. Next, this is getPost by ID, which is used to retrieve all the posts created by a specific user using their IDs. Now this is the functionality of like button which I had showed you in the front end. So this toggle post like is used to toggle a like on a specific post. Its main function is to ensure that the user and the post should exist. And it also checks whether the user ID is already in the post like array. If not, then it adds the user ID to the array. And if present, then it removes the user ID and further saves the updated post and return it. Now next, this toggle comment like function is used to toggle like on a specific comment within the post, as it validates the user ID and ensures the existence of both the user and the post. And it locates the specific comment using its ID within post's comment array. It also toggles the user ID in the comment array, and then it saves the updated post and return it. Now next, here I had imported all these functions to use them in different files too. Okay, so now let's check the code in the front end. Okay, so now here in formpage.jsx, this code is here. So this is the React component that displays a form-like interface with posts and comments. So firstly, this form page function is used to display the form interface posts and comments it stores. The posts which are fetched from the server, then it holds the error messages and counted while fetching. Next, this is show new post form. So it determines whether the new post is being displayed. Then these expanded comments track which post comments are expanded for viewing. Then this is loading manages the loading state to show a loader where data is being determined. This new command stores the draft comment for individual posts. After that, this useEffect hook is used for fetching the posts. I had called this fetch post function to retrieve the post from the API. And here I had stimulated the time to 1500 milliseconds, which is equivalent to 1.5 seconds using set timeout. Now back to the website. If we click on this profile button, we can see that all the posts are made by the user will appear here. As here it is invoking the post model which I had implemented in the backend, as it is invoking it through the user post ID which is present in the user model. So the posts made in the forum page are being shown here. So this was all about the post model which I had done. Now back here in the website, we can see that this is search novel input bar in which we can search any novel by its name. Suppose I want to search the second coming gluttony novel, which is our novel name. Then here we can see that if I type the novel name here, then here we can see it in the suggestion. I had got this book, so if I click on it, then I will be routed to a next page. Yeah, so here are the contents and details of this novel. From here I can read this book and also I can like it. So this was all about the search model in which we can search any novel by typing its name. Now let's check its part in the code. So in the backend controller folder, this is novel controller.js. Now let's scroll a bit to find its function. Now here we can see that this is a search novel function which is used for handling HTTP request to search novels. Its main function is to search a novel based upon the user query string and return the matching result within the retrieved data. Now let's check the code in the front end too. So in the front end folder, it lies in source, the pages. Now this is a result.jsx file. Now we can see that this search result function, and this is the React function component which is designed to display search results for novels based on the user query, and fetches and display the search results for the novels based on the query parameter from the URL. So this was all about my part in this code. Now further, my friend Hardik will explain you more functionalities about our project.
So I am Hardik. Basically my part in this is the chapter controller, as well as the ranking page and the upload section of the chapters and the light novels forum page. So first of all thank you for the insights on the previous modules that was explained by my friends Anishu and Akshay. So now let me walk you through my part, which is mainly focused on the chapter management, or you can say chapter controller part. This is an essential feature of our application that allows user to create, organize, and basically authors to create, organize, and users to read that novel basically in different parts, you can say different chapters. So as it ensures a smooth and structured way to manage the content for the authors within each novel while maintaining a seamless user experience. So there are few main key features of my chapter management, or you can say chapter controller. First of all, it is uploading a chapter, then fetching a new chapter, then listing all the chapters for a single novel or for different kind of novels. So as you can see, there are few novels that we have uploaded before. So let me explain the core mechanics behind how the functioning of the chapter controller is working or not. So first of all, as you can see, I have login is an author. So basically, due to my connectivity is slow, so fetching will be an error for me. So as you can see, there are basically 3 novels previously added by us. So in the Lone Wolf, you can see there are basically 6 chapters. As you can see, here are 6 chapters in the Lone Wolf. So first of all, I will give a how practically chapter management or chapter controller works. Then I will explain you the core mechanics behind how it is working in the code, like in the backend, how it is working. So to save our time, I have copied the novels. You can download the novels, content of the chapter basically. So this is the content of my chapter, and this is the title of my chapter. So first of all, I will give a short example. If the author does not put the chapter title or the content, he might get an error. So first of all, I will give the error by not inputting the chapter title, only the content, and I will try to upload or add the chapter. So basically it will say the error, please fill all the fields. So same error we will get by not putting the content in the content box. So I will select it and move, and then add the chapter. So same error will come again and again if the author does not put by mistaken he does not put that. So we will first of all add a chapter. So as you can see, the new chapter is basically uploaded with the help of our database. So now first of all I will explain what the core mechanics is behind that. So let's start. The chapter controller is designed to handle various tasks efficiently. For instance, when an author wants to upload a new chapter, basically first of all it ensures all the information is filled in the chapters or not. So this was the part that was I trying to say before uploading the chapter. So as you can see, once the main important thing is that first of all once it will verify that the author is trying to upload the chapter or not. If the author, you can say if the user is not the author, he is trying to upload the chapter, then the chapter will never get uploaded. First of all it will check whether the author is there or not. So in the code I will try to explain that part. So as you can see, it is the upload chapter in which first of all what I have said earlier, it will try to check whether it is an author or not. Then after that it will check whether the you can say this novel is there or not, or is deleted or not or by the author. Then after fetching, if the author you can say if the novel is there, then it will get that ID. After fetching that ID, so after fetching the ID of the novel, once the ID of the novel is fetched, then it will check whether there is a chapter or not. If there is a previous chapter, then it will fetch that chapter ID. After fetching that chapter ID, it will check whether the chapter name or the content is there. If one of the body is not there, it will give you the error. If it checks all the you can say all the requirements fields that are required for that, then it will check the chapter ID of the previous chapter. After fetching that previous chapter ID, it will automatically assigns a new chapter ID to that chapter. As you can see, chapter 6, then chapter 7. So basically you can say when a user need to view the existing chapter, the system allows them to fetch the earlier one also. So imagine if you are a user, if you are trying to fetch the previous chapter, it will allow you to fetch easily. So now I will you can say I will help check whether that chapter is correctly uploaded or not. So here is the novel in which we have uploaded the chapter. So we will go to the read now and try to check whether chapter is uploaded. As you can see, the chapter is uploaded, and after tapping the read chapter, we can read that chapter. As you can see, we can read the chapter here. And if we want to go to the previous chapter or not, then we can read it. So there is a special function for some persons who users who are busy but want to read that chapter. So there is a special function which is read aloud functions. It helps, you can say, it tries you to read that novel, read that chapter basically for you.
You didn't have a birthday, so I decided that from today on you are 6 years old. She smiled. She then
If so, I will try to explain some of my part. And in the chapter JS, basically we have directly uploaded to the Mongoose database. All the chapters directly from the front end is uploaded to the backend in the database. So now in the rankings, you can say my next part is the ranking page, in which the top novel will come above each and everyone. Basically, you can say how many likes that the novel has. On the basis of the likes functionality, the top novel will come. So let's check in the rankings page which is the top novel or not. So this is there are 4 likes. I can't dislike 4 likes, so we'll try on another one, the beginning after the end or the second coming. So as you can see on the 4th, there is 0 likes. So on the novel hub, you can go the beginning, and I will like that. And or I will go to a rebirth. And you can see 1 likes. I think due to the connectivity of my net, and 1 likes. And in the ranking page, the top novel, as you can see, the rebirth from the end comes to the 3rd. So the next part of my the next part is the liked novel forum, in which the author is able to see which novels are liked by him or not. You can see the rebirth is the recently novel which I have liked, and the lone wolf which I have liked before. So thank you. This was my part in this
With
project.
that, all the
I hope
explanations and the presentations are complete. So, whether you are an avid reader, an aspiring author, or someone who loves with a community, who loves to connect with a community of novel enthusiasts, Novel Hub has something for everyone. Explore the library of incredible novels, leave your reviews, engage with other readers through likes and comments. Are you an author? Share your stories to the world, manage your novels, and track performance with built-in analysis tools. We are just getting started. Soon you will enjoy more features as well. Join Novel Hub today, whether you are an author or an user who is looking to connect. Novel Hub, read, write, and connect. And this is not just for show. Our entire website from the back end to the front end is deployed. You can access the Novel Hub website on novel-hub-nk.versal.app. Thank you.